The Supreme Court, Mike Tyson, and Michael Phelps are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is June 30th. It is the 182nd day of the year. There are 184 days left in 2020. If today's your birthday, you are a Cancer. Congratulations. Today is International Asteroid Day. International Asteroid Day is a day to promote global awareness and educate people about asteroids. The observance was founded by Dr. Brian May, the astrophysicist, not the lead guitarist for the rock band Queen. In 2016, the Asteroid Day was officially observed by the United Nations, and the rest is history in asteroids. All right, let's see what else June 30th has given us. 1859, French acrobat Charles Blondin crosses Niagara Falls on a tightrope. Now, I'm sure there's some French pronunciation of his name, but it looks like Blondin to me. Anyway, he successfully crossed the river about 1,000 feet from where the Rainbow Bridge is today. He did this a number of times after the first one, often with different theatrical variations. Blindfolded, had a wheelbarrow, he did it on stilts, he carried a man across. I think the guy that he carried across was probably braver than him. Anyway, he even did it while cooking an omelet. Great. But what was wrong with this dude? What was he trying to prove by cooking an omelet while risking his life? It's just weird. 1864, President Abraham Lincoln grants Yosemite Valley to California for public use, resort, and recreation. The valley is about 7.5 miles long and approximately 3,000 to 3,500 feet deep, surrounded by high granite summits such as Half Dome and El Capitan. This was the first time in history that the federal government had set aside scenic lands simply to protect them. After the valley became a park, the surrounding territory was still subjected to logging and mining and grazing, things like that. So in 1890, the government created the national park that included a much larger territory enclosing Yosemite Valley. 1882, Charles J. Guiteau is hanged in Washington, D.C. for the assassination of President James Garfield. Guiteau falsely believed that he had played a major role in Garfield's victory, for which he should have been rewarded. That was in his head. He was really offended by Garfield's administration's rejections, so he decided to kill Garfield and shot him at the Baltimore and Potomac rail station in Washington, D.C. Garfield died 2 months later due to infection from the wound. Yeah, nothing like being delusional and having a gun. 1906, the United States Congress passes the Meat Inspection Act and Pure Food and Drug Act. The FMIA makes it a crime to misbrand meat and meat products being sold as food and ensures that meat and meat products are slaughtered and processed under strictly regulated sanitary conditions. Before, they could sell you hamburgers made out of horse and tell you it was cow. It was a Wild West thing. They did whatever they want. These guys came along and kind of, put that whole process under control. These days, we have the FDA enforcing that stuff, including most foods, drugs, and it's not just limited to meats. 1908, the Tunguska Event. This was the largest impact event on Earth in human history. It was a massive explosion over eastern Siberia that may have been a meteorite or a small comet that exploded as it entered the atmosphere. The explosion flattened an estimated 80 million trees over an area of 830 square miles of forest, and eyewitness reports suggest that it may have killed 3 people. That's it. So why are there only 3 deaths? This is a very remote part of Siberia. So remote, it actually took them 20 years to get a scientist to the site. Keep in mind, no helicopters, things like that back in the day. 1974, the Baltimore Municipal Strike of 1974 begins. It was initiated by waste collectors seeking higher wages and better working conditions. They were joined by sewer workers, zookeepers, prison guards, highway workers, recreation and park workers, animal control workers, abandoned vehicle workers, and eventually police officers. It's always getting bad when the zookeepers are coming out of hiding. Start protesting. Things have gone bad when that happens. Trash piled up during the strike, and it got especially bad when the police force quit showing up to work. Many trash piles started being set on fire. The city jails also went crazy. This proved to be a very successful strike, and it only lasted about 2 weeks. 1986, the Supreme Court rules in the Bowers v. Hardwick case. This case said that states could outlaw homosexual acts between consenting adults. Now, I know this was a sexual thing, but how far were they going to go with this? It just seems like a flawed law to me. Were they going to bust down people's doors and see what they're doing? Arrest you for singing show tunes at karaoke? How far were they going to go with this? I've never understood this type of stuff. Let people live their own lives. What goes on in a bedroom between 2 consenting adults is nobody's business. Either is who you fall in love with. It's just me. All right, off my soapbox. 2013, 19 firefighters die controlling a wildfire in Yarnell, Arizona. That was sad, I remember that one. Movies released on June 30th, 1971. One of the greatest movies ever. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, starring Gene Wilder. Greatest movie ever. I don't know how many times I've watched this movie. It was great. Little piece of trivia about this one. A, Gene Wilder thought it was going to be a flop, but Willy Wonka speaks English, French, Italian, and German throughout the film. And in 2005, when Johnny Depp decided to make Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he did the same thing. But that was a horrible movie. Don't watch that one. Born on June 30th, 1966, Iron Mike Tyson, American boxer and actor, one of the most feared men in the boxing ring ever. Guy was amazing. I remember watching his fights through the 80s. I couldn't believe how hard he hit people. Either could the people that got hit by him. They couldn't believe how hard he hit them. 1985, Michael Phelps is born. American swimmer. He is the most successful and most decorated Olympian of all time, with a total of 28 medals. 28 medals. 23 of them are gold. Died on June 30th, 2003, Buddy Hackett passes away. He was an American actor and comedian. He was best known for his role in The Music Man in 1962 and Benji Benjamin in It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World in 1963. He also voiced Scuttle in The Little Mermaid in 1989. He died at the age of 78 due to heart disease. They wanted him to do a bypass surgery, and he said no. He died soon after. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.